The Pirates walk one off at PNC Park against the Phillies. Freddie Freeman's grand slam sunk the Red Sox in Los Angeles. Orioles 4 home runs in Arlington, including 2 from Anthony Santander. A's 3 home runs in thumping the Angels. And the Astros, we've now got to call them the first place Houston Astros, as everyone in the AL West, including the Mariners, now looking up at Houston. Steve Lennox, Lennox on Baseball live stream podcast. Glad you're with us as we are recapping day number 114 of the Major League Baseball regular season, the All-Star break, and a great All-Star game from Arlington, Texas on Tuesday. But the All-Star break now in the rear-view mirror. Recapping day number 114 of the Major League Baseball regular season. First, that's baseball. We are closing in now on the sprint to the finish, but we are still very much in the marathon phase of the season. Still weeks to go now, right? Just a couple more weeks before we hit the dog days of August. And we still, to this point, have not seen a manager relieved of his duties. I think that's coming at some point soon. And I think we're also going to see a few bench clearing incidents, bullpens too, as they like to get involved in those melees. Those are coming in the coming days and weeks as well. And that's baseball. Again, recapping day number 114 of the Major League Baseball regular season. How about those Buccos? Pirates got to 500 last Sunday. Now a game over 500 with Friday's walk-off victory against the Phillies. Final from Pittsburgh. Pirates 8, Phillies 7. Nick Gonzalez played the role of hero. Gonzalez RBI base hit in the bottom half of the ninth inning. That off Jose Alvarado. Both teams scoring 3 runs in the first inning. Phillies did lead 7-4 after 5 innings. Trey Turner, Weston Wilson both hitting home runs in the loss for Philadelphia. Andrew McCutchen on base 4 times, a couple of hits, 2 walks, scored 3 runs, including the game-winning run in the ninth inning. Brian Reynolds 3 base hits. O'Neal Cruz 3 hits, including a pair of doubles. He knocked in 3. Pirates have won 5 straight games, a game over 500 for the first time since they were 13-12 back on April 24th, the 6th walk-off win of 2024 for Pittsburgh. Yankees, a 4-run third inning, beat the Rays 6-1 in the series opener at the big ballpark in the Bronx Friday night. Noah Volpe, 3-run double to make it 4-0. Juan Soto, 4-hit game, doubled in the 4th inning and scored on 2 Tampa Bay errors. We like to sometimes call that a version of a Little League home run. Garrett Cole, 3rd win, 6 innings, 1 run, 6 hits, a walk, 8 strikeouts for Cole on his resume. Did give up a home run to Brendan Lau in the 6th inning. Cole got the victory, and it was also Garrett Cole bobblehead giveaway Friday night in the Bronx as well. Soto, his second 4-hit game of the season and the 9th of his career. Adley Rutschman, Colton Cowser both hitting 2-run home runs in the first inning for the Orioles. O's in Arlington beat up on the Rangers 9-1 in the series opener. Anthony Santander, all-star, just like a lot of his Oriole teammates this past week with the Orioles in Arlington. And again, Arlington, the Rangers doing a wonderful job hosting the All-Star game. Santander, all-star, named late, but an all-star. 2-run home run in the 5th inning Friday night, 3-run shot in the 7th inning. Santander, again, I think I said this before, gets lost a little bit with all the terrific young talent and the top hitters that the Orioles have. Heck, Adley Rutschman on occasion gets lost as well in the shuffle. But Santander, his numbers are terrific. Santander on the season, 26 home runs and 63 runs knocked in. Corbin Burns, who started for the AL in the All-Star game in Arlington Tuesday night, made the start Friday night, picked up the win, his 10th on the season. Burns 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, walked 1, struck out 4. Nathaniel Lowe got him for a solo home run. That for the Rangers in the 2nd inning. Gunnar Henderson, 4 singles, 3 runs scored. Rangers just 2 base hits and now 5 games under 500. Nathan Eovaldi, who has been terrific this season at home, but Friday night, Eovaldi taking the loss. Red Sox led 1-0 until the bottom half of the 8th inning. Dodgers got to the Red Sox bullpen. Freddie Freeman, 7th career grand slam in the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers 4-1 victory in the series opener against Boston at Dodger Stadium. Jarren Duran, solo home run in the 5th inning. That off Gavin Stone. Duran MVP, Ted Williams, MVP of the All-Star game Tuesday night in Arlington, Texas, his 11th home run on the season. But that turned out to be the only run of the game for the Red Sox. They had opportunities, 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and it was just one of those games, watch it beginning to end, and just one of those games where you thought the Red Sox are missing out on opportunities here against Gavin Stone and the Dodger bullpen. 0 for 11 runners in scoring position, worthy of a second mention. And then Shohei Ohtani, who had struck out in each of his first 3 at-bats against Nick Pivetta, made it second and third in that 8th inning before Freeman's grand slam home run. He had a double down the left field line that was just fair. After the double, put runners at second and third for Ohtani and the Dodgers. Will Smith walked Freddie Freeman off Brendan Bernardino, home run grand slam to right field. Pivetta struck out 8, deserved better. 6 scoreless innings, was in line for the victory. Instead, ends up with a no decision. His 4th scoreless outing of the season. Daniel Hudson gave up a base runner in the 9th inning, but Hudson ended the game, got Dom Smith to hit into a 4-6-3 game-ending double play. The Mariners are now looking up. Now, it's just a percentage point, but the Mariners are looking up at the Houston Astros in the AL Western Division standings. Astros Friday night blanked the Mariners 3-0 in Seattle. Houston, all 3 runs in the 3rd inning. Yanier Diaz made it 3-0 with a 2-run single. Hunter Brown combining with 3 Houston relievers on the shutout win. Josh Hader, scoreless 9th inning. Brown, 8-6 with the victory. Gave up 4 hits, struck out 5 over his 6 innings of work. Mariners had a 10-game lead on Houston back on June 18th. The Mariners have lost 4 in a row and now just 8 wins over their last 24 games. The Astros going in the other direction, trending in a positive direction. Astros 18-6 over their last 24 and 24-12 since June 3rd. 10 games down, now in first place in the AL West. Cardinals Braves in Atlanta Friday night, rained out. 2 clubs will play a split doubleheader in Atlanta on Saturday. Guardians opening at home after the All-Star break, shut out and blanked the Padres 7-0. Guardians led 1-0 through 7. Broke the game open with a 6-run 8th inning. Jose Ramirez got things going in that 8th inning with a 2-run single. David Fry, 3 hits, RBI, 2 runs scored. Tanner Bybee and 3 Cleveland relievers combining on the 4-hit shutout. Bybee, 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Jackson Merrill for the Padres, tough night at the dish, 0 for 4 and 4 strikeouts. Ouch on that one. Matt Waldron, with what we call a tough luck loss. Waldron gave up just 1 earned run, struck out, walked no one, struck out 5 over 6, and taking the loss for the Padres. Friday afternoon matinee at Wrigley Field. What's better than that in Chicago? Diamondbacks never trailed, beat the Cubs 5-2. Ryan Nelson gave up an earned run, struck out 9 over 5 2/3 innings. He picks up the win, his 7th on the year. Gabriel Moreno, 3 hits, including a double, knocked in a run for the Diamondbacks. Christian Walker, 2-run single in the 3rd to make it 3-0. Reliever Ryan Thompson able to escape a bases-loaded, no-out situation in the 8th inning. Paul Sewald shutting down the Cubs in the bottom of the 9th inning and locking up the save, his 14th on the year. Tigers out of the break, 5-4 victory against the Blue Jays in Toronto. Mark Canha, Wenceel Perez, both hitting home runs. Jack Flaherty, 8 strikeouts, 2 earned runs allowed on 3 hits over his 5 2/3 innings. Flaherty the win, and he picks up his 7th on the year. Vlad Guerrero Jr. and George Springer both hit home runs in the loss for the Blue Jays. Chris Bassett, 5 earned runs allowed in his outing. Took the loss, now 8-8 on the season. Canha with the home run, his first in over 2 months. Now, it used to be, as we're now approaching the trade deadline, you'd hear that, teams have these scouts out. They're scouting this team heavily right now. There might be a deal in the mix. You don't even hear about that anymore. There had to be scouts in attendance to watch Chris Bassett Friday night in the start for Toronto. I would think that'd be the case. Royals opened up at home after the All-Star break, came away with a 7-1 victory against the White Sox. Bobby Witt Jr. hit his 17th home run of the season, that in the 1st inning. Witt Jr. added an RBI single in the 3rd. That made it 2-0. He had a 3-hit game. Michael Massey, 2 hits, 2 RBIs as well for the Royals. Michael Wacha turned in a strong performance with 7 innings, did not allow a run, picked up the win, his 7th on the year. Wacha gave up just 4 hits, walked 1, and struck out 7. Chris Flexen gave up all 7 runs in the start for the White Sox over 4 2/3 innings. He drops to 2-9 on the season with the loss. The White Sox have lost 5 in a row, 5th time this season where they have lost 5 or more games. Remember, earlier in the year, lost a franchise record 14 straight. Bright spot, Brooks Baldwin, MLB debut for the White Sox on Friday, collected a single in his first big league at bat. Take the over in number of stolen bases between the Reds and Nationals. Hope you already did that for this weekend series in D.C. Now, the Nationals moved Hunter Harvey last week. Expected to be active in moving other players, including possible closer Kyle Finnegan, before the trade deadline. Current Nats team with an 8-5 victory against the Reds Friday night. Patrick Corbin, his second win of the season. Now, Corbin gave up 1 earned run over 6. And could you see this happening? The Nationals deal Corbin before the trade deadline, right? And the team acquiring Corbin, perhaps, has fans asking, why in the world are we adding a pitcher that has a 2-9 record and an ERA over 5? I would make a call to the Nationals and Mike Rizzo on Patrick Corbin. Juan Yepes, 2 hits, including a 2-out, 3-run home run in the 5th inning. That made it 7-1 Washington. Keibert Ruiz also chipping in with a 2-run home run as well. Now, stolen bases. These are 2 teams, Reds, Nationals, Brewers, top 3. Flip-flop them every couple of days in terms of who leads Major League Baseball in stolen bases. The Reds had 3 stolen bases on Friday. The Nationals had 5 thefts on Friday. And again, I hope you took the over for combined stolen bases between these 2 teams for the weekend series. And by the way, happy 35th birthday Friday to Patrick Corbin. We're a little late on that. He got the victory on his birthday. Another injury for the Nationals. Josiah Gray is going to miss the rest of the year. Elbow surgery coming right now, partially torn UCL, the ulnar collateral ligament. They'll go in there and decide if they have to go the full Tommy John route or if they can do the new bracketing thing that pitchers are doing. Gamble, but Josiah Gray is out at least through probably the All-Star break of 2025. By the way, I'm not sure if they're on board with us yet, and I might do this over a couple of days. But I want to say hello to 2 terrific people. Now, shame on me for not getting their names, but one a Red Sox fan, one a Nationals fan. I met them, talked baseball with them this past Saturday at Red 36 Restaurant, highly recommended, by the way, in Mystic, Connecticut. Great talking baseball with the both of you. You said you might hop on board. I appreciate that conversation the other night that you had with me and my dad and my family. Wish you all the best this weekend as you are hitting New England. In Miami, Jake Berger, RBI double in the 3rd. Home run, solo shot in the 5th inning. Marlins beat the Mets 6-4. Tanner Scott worked an inning and a 1/3 out of the pen, notched to save his 15th on the season. Now, you have to believe that Scott only has a handful of appearances left with the Marlins. They can get a nice package for their closer. Sean Manaea gave up 5 earned runs, took the loss for the Mets. Jeff McNeil had an error in the field, but also did hit 2 home runs for the Mets. I wonder if Jeff McNeil, perhaps with a 2-home run effort on Friday, maybe improved his trade value. Marlins have won 4 of the 7 meetings so far this season with the Mets. The Marlins are one of those teams, I'm going to touch on it in Sugar's Random Thoughts, but the Marlins are one of those teams that could have a real effect on the teams they play the rest of the way. Let's see how they do against the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies the rest of the season. Brenton Doyle, Jake Cave, Ezekiel Tovar, all hitting home runs. Rockies at Coors Field beat the Giants 7-3 Friday night. Cave, 3-run shot in the 8th inning. That broke a 3-3 tie. Rockies, 15 home runs now over their last 4 games. Doyle, 10 home runs since June 28th. Jalen Beeks picked up the win in relief as Beeks went an inning and a 1/3 scoreless out of the bullpen for Colorado. In Oakland, Max Schumann put the A's up 6-2 with a 3-run home run in the 4th inning. A's 3 home runs, thumped the Angels 13-3. J.J. Bleday, Shea Langoliers, both homering in the 6th inning. Now, Schumann had 3 hits, 4 runs batted in, 3 runs scored, had an RBI double in the A's 7-run 6th inning against the Angels. Jacob Wilson, one of the top prospects in minor league baseball, one of the top prospects for the Oakland A's, made his major league debut, did have to leave the game early in the 3rd inning, running the bases on a triple by Lawrence Butler, and tweaked his hamstring. They don't think it's anything serious, but probably going to get a couple of days. But tip of the cap to Jacob Wilson making his big league debut. 13-3 victory for the A's. Like the Marlins, they can be one of those teams that's going to be a pain in the neck to contending teams during the second half of the season. And I don't want to say second half of the season after the All-Star break the rest of the way. The marathon into the sprint to the end of the season. A's manager Mark Kotsay said after the win, hitting is contagious. J.P. Sears picked up the win, 7th on the year. Attendance in Oakland, 11,596. Read a few reports on Friday. Mike Trout could be out on a rehab assignment in the minor leagues for the Angels in the coming days or weeks. Brewers, Twins, they're underway on Saturday. Not sure why those two teams open up after the All-Star break on Saturday, but they weren't All-Stars for the Twins or Brewers. Then they had a 5-day break, and they'll get underway. Brewers, Twins, 2 in Minnesota at Target Field starting on Saturday. That is a wrap once again on day number 114 of the Major League Baseball regular season. Sugar's Random Thoughts. Bet you missed them as we took a little All-Star break as well. Sugar's Random Thoughts brought to you by the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton, Maryland. Considering to stay on the beautiful Maryland Eastern Shore this summer, fall, winter, consider a stay at the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton. Tell my sister Tammy, my brother-in-law Kenneth, that I sent you their way. The Dodgers have some pretty good players coming back in the next couple of weeks. And, of course, what that means as well is the Dodgers currently have a lot of money on the injured list. My 2 picks, okay? I mentioned the Marlins. I mentioned the A's. My 2 picks for teams that are under 500 that can be a real pain in the bleepity-bleep neck during the second half of the season. The Nationals, 1. The A's are my other. And I could be sold on the Marlins. But right now, I'm going with the Nationals and the A's. We'll see how that plays out. In baseball, just a reminder, 643 equals 2. 463 equals 2. And so does 543. 543 also equals 2 when they go around the horn. Again, that's a wrap on day number 114 of the Major League Baseball regular season. As Sarah Langs is fond of saying, baseball is the best. Former Aberdeen Ironbird intern Brian Holland, on most recaps with Lennox on Baseball, sends us away. Brian does that right now.
Stop talking during the anthem. Go watch Steve Lennox's new podcast because Steve is the man.